Morning everyone, what a beautiful day. We're going to start Pilates in just a few seconds. So grab yourself a bit of space. I'm outside today because it's so beautiful. I might even take my jumper off in a minute because it's super hot. So if you want to do this outside, then if you've got the facility to do that, then that's great. Hope you're doing well. Please make comments, let me know how things are going. This is slightly pre-recorded. Like trying to juggle childcare and exercise sessions, that sort of thing. So I recorded about half an hour before it's meant to start. So there we go. Anyway, hope you're doing well. We're going to start in just a moment. You just need a little bit of space, and it's going to be Pilates as normal that we do on a Wednesday. If you're a regular, thanks so much for continuing with us during this time. If not, you're super welcome. Let's get started, shall we? I'm just going to take my shoes off, maybe my jumper off too. Great, and as always with Pilates, we're going to focus on three things, just as the person next door starts cutting their grass, but never mind. We're going to focus on three things. The first one is our breathing, so breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. The second thing we're going to focus on is our belt muscle around the waist. This is our transverse abdominis muscle, and I want you to pull that one in. So you're going to engage your transverse abdominis muscle. So imagine that you're putting on a pair of trousers that are too tight for you or something like that, and engage this belt muscle around your waist. And you're going to engage it at about 30%. And then the third thing I want you to focus on is your pelvic floor muscles. These are the muscles that stop you going to the toilet when you're on a long car journey. And we're going to engage those about 30% as well. And through this, through your transverse abdominis muscle, and through your pelvic floor muscles and your breathing, you're going to create a bit of solid around this core muscle, around your core. And by doing that, that just means you'll work all the inner muscles when we do these exercises. So breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. We're just going to loosen off from our feet to our head, just loosening off all of the joints. So start from your ankles, and then onto the other side. That's great. Onto your knees, feet kind of hip width apart, maybe a bit further apart, and just going down and back up. Keep your back nice and straight as you do this. Mobilizing your knee joints as you do this. Another few. That's great. Onto your hips. We're going to do big circles from one side all the way around to the back and all the way around back again. That's great, and the other side. Keep your core engaged as you do all of these. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. That's great. We're just going to mobilise our back, our spine now, so just looking to one side and to the middle. Keep your core engaged, and to the other side and to the middle. great. Just your shoulders up, back and down. So bring them up, back and down. Let's bring that to your arms now, and you can go up onto your toes as you do this. It's coming up. Breathe in as you go up, fill your lungs with air. And breathe out as you come back down. Great, and just with your head just looking to one side and to the middle and to the other side and to the middle and again. Brilliant. We're going to come to the end of our mat now. I'm going to stretch up. I've got a few plant issues this morning with plants coming into my mat, but never mind, I'll try and avoid them if I can. They're a bit spiky as well, so it's a bit dangerous. Very good fun. Okay, so stretching up and then coming down towards your feet. And then slowly coming back up. As you do this, just do one vertebra at a time. So imagine one vertebra at a time, just releasing and going down. It's coming up, chin onto your chest. One vertebra at a time, coming down. If you want to walk your fingers forwards, you can. If you want to do a press up at the end, you can. Into this position and then coming back. Going to go down one more time. And when we get down there, we just lie down on the mat. That's good. Okay, from this position, as you're lying down, you're going to lie with your feet stretched out and your arms stretched out. I want you to imagine that you've got a grape which is underneath your belly button, so don't squash that grape, so engage your core so the grape isn't squashed. And then you're going to do opposite arm to opposite leg, coming up off the mat, so extending out, opposite arm to opposite leg. That's great, and then bring your hands to the side. Keep your head down on the mat. I keep lifting my head so you can hear me. But bring your hands to the side, keep your eyes looking to the mat. And we're going to do a neck extension. So take the pressure off your arms. Imagine that they're resting on glass. You can even put them by your side so you don't use them at all. But you're extending your neck up and down as if your neck is on an escalator. It comes up, but it also comes out. It's like a kind of tortoise shell neck, I guess, coming out of a tortoise. But try and take the pressure off your arms. Keep your core engaged so that belly button, so that grape doesn't get squashed under your belly button. Great, we're going to come up to all fours now. from this position, I want you to push your belly button down towards the ground and then scoop it up towards the ceiling. And then find the middle position, and from this middle position we're going to extend out opposite arm to opposite leg, coming out and extending there. Keep your core engaged. Now if you want a challenge, you can do the same arm to the same leg. I'm trying to get better at this, but I'm not very good. But if not, go opposite arm to opposite leg. If you want another challenge, then you can have a go closing your eyes while you're doing the exercise. We're going to open our arm out now, so stretching out across your chest and back down and to the other side. Keep your eyes following your fingertips as you're coming out. And then we're going to sit back onto your heels and push your fingers forwards and stretch out. Then coming forward, we're going to go into the plank. If you've got issues with your back or anything, then just be really careful whether you do this one or not. You don't have to do it. But you can choose the position of your hands, so they can either be on the ground or like so. And then the position of the contact point on the ground is up to you as well. So you can either have your feet with a straight line between your feet and your shoulders, or you can have your knees with a straight line between your feet and your shoulders. It's your call. Today I'm going to go for knees. So just holding that position. Breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. Trying to keep a straight line from your shoulders down to the contact point on the floor. Great, we're going to come to a seated position now and just do a few stretches. So we're going to stretch out our hamstrings under our legs. So have your feet apart, and then we're going to imagine there's a ball in front of you and lifting up over that ball and stretching out forward. See if you can go a bit further with the stretch. And then slowly coming back up. And then to the middle, lifting up over the ball, stretching out forward. Walk your fingers forward. See if you can go a little further with your fingers. And slowly back up. And then to the other one, lift your body up over that ball, stretching forward. See if you can go a little further with the stretch. and then slowly coming back up. We're going to go onto our back now. So lying down on our back, and we're going to do some exercises on our back. So lying down, I want you to find your neutral spine position. So push your back into the ground and then arch it up towards the ceiling as you're lying down. Find the position where your fingers will just fit halfway under your back. Once you have that position, I want you to have your knees together, your feet together, you can have your arms out to the side and pushing your knees down to one side and then slowly up to the middle and then down to the other side. Keep your core engaged as you're doing this exercise. Great, we're going to have our hands by our side now and we're going into the bridge, so keeping your head on the ground. We're going to scoop up one vertebra at a time into that top position from your knees down to your shoulders, and then scooping back down one vertebra at a time, and then again into that top position, and then scooping back down one vertebra at a time. If you want to, in the top position, extend your leg up or out, you can. So out like this, or up to the ceiling, you can. But the important thing is that you have your knees pushed forwards, your hips pointing to the ceiling or to the sky if you're outside, and you maintain that position whatever extensions you do. So one vertebra at a time coming down. Breathe out as you go up. Take a few breaths at the top and then breathe in as you come back down. Let's do that a few more times. Great, we're going to go for the 100 now. There's loads of different levels of the 100. So the first one is that you just lift your head and shoulders off the ground and you're just pumping your arms up and down. The second one is that you're engaging your core and then you lift one leg and you lift the other leg and you're pumping up and down. The third level is that you're engaging your core, you lift one leg, you lift the other leg, and you can lift both legs up in a V shape more, and then you're pumping up and down. And the next level, you're lifting more of your head and your shoulders off the ground. So the aim is eventually that we get to a position which is a V-shaped position with your body. So I want you to engage your core and then choose which one you want to do. So it's up to you which one you do. I'm just going to lift my head and shoulders this morning and pump up and down. This is working. You can probably feel it in your abdominal muscles. If you're feeling tension in your neck, then put your tongue on the roof of your mouth and it will take some of the tension away. If you're still feeling the tension, then just drop your neck down and try a different one that will still work these abdominal muscles in your core. Now the breathing for this, breathe in for 5 pumps, breathe out for 5 pumps, breathe in for 5 pumps, breathe out for 5 pumps. And relax that down. The next one I want you to do is engage your core, lift one leg up, and you're going to push away, imagining that you're pushing away, I don't know, something like a wardrobe or something heavy, and then pulling that back, still taking the tension. So push away and then pulling that back. Now if you want to challenge yourself, you can do both legs at the same time, going out and coming back, so they're kind of alternating. Or to be really challenging, you can do both legs going out and coming back, and the lower you do that to the ground, the harder it will be. So if you want to put more pressure on your abdominal muscles and also your lower back, then you can do that if you want to work them harder. If you've got lower back issues, then just do one leg at a time, that's absolutely fine. Pushing out, taking the resistance as you push away, and taking the resistance as you come back. Engage your core as you're doing this. Engage the deep muscles of your core. That's great. We're just going to bring our knees up and roll on our back for a minute, just to release any tension in your back that you might have built up. And then we're going to come into a seated position, which I'm quite thankful for because the sun was in my eyes as I was doing those exercises. From this, you can either have your legs crossed or frog legs position. It's up to you. I'm going to have my legs crossed. I want you to reach to the sky and stretch over, feeling the stretch all down your side. And back down, and then to the other side. Reach to the sky and stretch over. And one more time. Reach to the sky and stretch over. And again, reach to the sky and stretch over. That's great. I'm going to quickly put my shoes on before we do a few balance exercises and a few more stretches. Great, so just standing up, just come into that top position, fill your lungs with air. We're going to go into a balance now, so bring your arms out, bring your leg up. If you want to, you can stretch out your ankle. You can close your eyes if you want to challenge yourself a bit. And back down. And lifting up and out to the side. And stretching out. And then a few stretches, a few balances, sorry, coming out to the front, balancing forward. If you want to, you can try and stretch out your quads as you do this. And back down, and then onto the other side. back down. And just finishing with breathing, hands onto your hips. No, not only hips, onto your chest. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. I just want to share a verse with you, which Jesus says this. He says in John 16, he says, I've told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Jesus said this just before he died, and he said to the disciples that in him, by trusting in him, by believing in him, by spending time with him, by trusting and praying and doing the things he did, by having a relationship with Jesus, he says this, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. You may have peace. And there's so many different things at the moment which can try and rob us of peace. So like I turn on the news and a lot of it is bad news, isn't it? And it can rob our peace. But Jesus says, in me you may have peace. He said, in this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world. And that gives me such peace to recognize that in this world, in the world that I live, there'll be loads of trouble, loads of things go wrong. But Jesus says he's overcome the world, and he's about to do that on the cross. He's about to overcome the world by his death and resurrection, overcoming the great fear we have often of death for ourselves and death for others. But Jesus says, in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. God, I pray for everybody who's watching this, who's engaging with this, that today in you they would have peace, recognizing that you're bigger than the problems, you're more closer than the people we can't hug at the moment, and that right inside our core you can give us peace. Fill us with your peace today, we pray. I pray blessing over everybody who's watching, over their families, over their friends today. In the name of Jesus, amen. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you get the opportunity to be outside for a bit and enjoy the sunshine. Please keep tuning into everything that Sports Factory are doing. We really appreciate the comments and all of that sort of stuff. So thank you so much, and we will see you soon.